Please click on the subscribe button so you get notified when the latest content drops. Now, let's kick it. Moving on from the Pittsburgh Steelers conversation, let's talk about some teams that I've been blatantly wrong about this year, ladies and gentlemen. So, the first team that I thought was going to be having issues is the Buffalo Bills, coming out with Josh Allen, coming out with James Cook, Keon Coleman. They have been incredible. They are a much better team this year than they have been in the past. Yes, they lost Stephon Diggs, who is a versatile number one weapon, but Keon Coleman. But the team as a whole seems more unified. It just seems better this year. Yes, week one, they relied heavily on Josh Allen, who got 4 touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, and basically carried them against the Arizona Cardinals to win that game, high scoring game. And then week two, Buffalo Bills defense clamped down the Miami Dolphins, who have Tyreek Hill, who have Waddle, who have Devin Achane, who's still a serviceable running back, even though they don't have Mostert. They picked off Tua 3 times. And rather than relying on Josh Allen and his talents, they handed the ball off to James Cook. Josh Allen did enough. He protected the ball. He didn't put the ball in risk. They just look like a much better team this year than they have in the past. Another team that I've been surprisingly pleasantly surprised from is the New Orleans Saints. I didn't see this coming. I thought Derek Carr was washed. I didn't think he had it in him anymore. And then to come out back to back weeks, putting up 40 plus points in both weeks and smashing the Dallas Cowboys, who a lot of teams thought were going to, after what they did to the Cleveland Browns last week. Jack got that contract. CeeDee Lamb got his contract. They thought Cowboys were going to be rolling, that they were going to roll the Saints. The Saints rolled the Cowboys. That offense, Alvin Kamara is looking phenomenal. Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed are coming into their own at the wide receiver position. The team as a whole, the addition of Kubiak to be their offensive coordinator has really paid off, and I really think the Saints have a real strong chance of competing for that division crown or a NFC wildcard spot, the spot that I thought the Chicago Bears was going to have. So I've been very wrong about the New Orleans Saints. Now, I just mentioned the Bears. Let's talk about how wrong I was about the Bears. I thought with all the weapons that Caleb Williams had, you have DeAndre Swift at the running back position, you have Keenan Allen at wide receiver, you had DJ Moore, you just drafted Romeo Odunze, you have a decent offensive line, so you should be able to protect your quarterback. Um, I've been wrong about them. I thought they were going to be much, much better than what they have been. To be completely honest with you, Caleb Williams has been a bit of a letdown for me. I was sick and tired of the expectations that Nick Wright from FS1's First Things First was putting on him, being Super Bowl contenders and all that. I was personally just tired of that narrative. I thought he was going to be much better than what he's played as, but realistically, I thought the expectations that Nick Wright had for Caleb in year one was just way too high. The defense for the Bears has carried them, and that's why they are 1-1, and that's why they've been in the games that they've played in the last couple weeks. They beat the Tennessee Titans because Will Levis is a horrible quarterback, and they were in the game against the Texans because of their defense. But other than that, Caleb Williams is still has growing pains to go through, but I just don't think they're going to be that 10-17 that I thought they were going to be. I feel much more comfortable with them being a 7-10, 8-19 this year, and Caleb learning the NFL system and hopefully progressing. I still think week 5 or week 6 is when we're going to see the best of Caleb Williams. Another team that I feel like I was wrong about, and yes, I know it's early on, but they're 0-2, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. I had the Baltimore Ravens essentially being the third best team in the AFC and winning their division. After 2 weeks, yeah, I had them losing against the Chiefs. I didn't think they were going to beat Kansas City at all. But when you lose to the Raiders, wow. I was on the Minshew Mania hype. You guys know that I love Gardner Minshew. I love his personality. I didn't think the Raiders were going to be that good, but Gardner Minshew and Pierce, their head coach, they got the pulse on that team. They came back and they beat the Ravens. They beat the Ravens, and now the Ravens are 0-2. Lamar Jackson, I feel like the same issue that Tua had, losing the weight that he lost to be able to move and be more mobile. That impacted him ultimately, and that's part of the reason I think why he got a concussion because he got a little bit smaller. Uh, there's multiple factors there. Is the same reason why I feel like Lamar Jackson might be a little bit more injury prone this year. He lost the weight after week 1 with the Kansas City Chiefs. It was reported that he was sore. And then when he faced the Raiders this past weekend, he didn't have enough gas in the tank to get them to win. He's a 2-time reigning MVP, unanimous MVP. And for him to come out and lose to the Las Vegas Raiders, who are still in a rebuilding process, who are still early on in that phase with Antonio Pierce as their head coach, is what really surprised me for them to come out and lose that game by a field goal after I thought they were just gonna win.
Guys, have you heard? Shady Mob Productions is an official affiliate of HBO Max. Click on the link in the description and sign up so you can watch hit series like Hard Knocks, Game of Thrones, and House of Dragons. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the latest content drops.